Hello there and welcome to yet another edition of the Lagos Transportation Agenda. As you know, this is the show in which we engage influential, knowledgeable personalities in the dynamic world of transportation on the events, the issues and the evolving trends in this very, very important sector of the state and the national economy. My name is Austin Iyan. A lot has been said about the role of transportation as a key enabler of the team's agenda or Teams Plus agenda of the Lagos State government, especially under the leadership of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Today we are looking at safety, which of course is a very major plank of transportation. Without safety and security, well, transportation will be a very risky affair, whether you are going foot or by car, by train, by air, or even by water. And no better person to talk about safety while on the road than my guest on the show today in the person of Mr. IKE OKONKWO. Mr. OKONKWO is the Chief Executive Officer of the Arive Alive Road Safety Initiative. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. OKONKWO and I will be discussing the environmental impacts of safety and especially the issue of pedestrians crossing the roads without using the overhead pedestrian crossings on our road, which, as you will agree, is a very rampant occurrence in our society, and his efforts and his organization's efforts to combat that particular menace. When we come back on the Lagos Transportation Agenda, please stay with us.
Welcome on board the newly retrofitted Light Ferry, where innovation meets comfort on water. As you step onto our state-of-the-art vessel, you'll notice the modern design and enhanced facilities that prioritize your safety and enjoyment. Our retrofitting process has not only upgraded the aesthetics, but also improved the performances of the boat, ensuring a smoother and faster journey across the beautiful Lagos waterways. Feel free to explore this spacious sitting areas equipped with comfortable amenities such as life jackets for all passengers, a first aid box, fire extinguisher, all for a relaxing ride. Our knowledgeable crew is here to assist you, making your journey as enjoyable as possible. Join us as we set sail towards a more efficient and eco-friendly future, embracing technology while celebrating the vibrant culture of Lagos. Thank you for choosing Light Ferry, where every ride is a memorable adventure.
Welcome back on the Lagos Transportation Agenda, and as I said in my introduction, Mr. IKE OKONKWO, the CEO of the Arive Alive Road Safety Initiative, is my guest today. So let me start by asking you, Mr. OKONKWO, what does your NGO do? What do you do?
My NGO, the Arive Alive Road Safety Initiative, is charged with promoting road safety best practices in Nigeria. Yes. We cooperate with similar agencies,
okay,
donor bodies, and corporate organizations to actually do two things: figure out areas where there are gaps, particularly, with special focus on road infrastructure, school zone road infrastructure,
okay,
and then see how to analyze those gaps and figure out what best to intermediate. So what we do is that we try to bring a positive intervention to such gaps as noticed. Compliance in the short term usually will come positive because you begin to put things on ground, you begin to train, to educate, to do proper advocacy with proper relevant bodies, and then you begin to gain momentum, and then suddenly everything goes sour. I'll give you an example or examples. We championed child safety program in Lagos. With partnership built within the Road Safety Coalition.
Yes.
Okay, and the Lagos State government as well.
Okay.
We gained momentum. FRSC also was involved. Some 10 years back, when Jonas Agu was center commander of the FRSC in Lagos,
Okay.
and also during BFA's time
As commissioner
of Lagos.
Transportation.
You see, NGOs came together and the government supported our vision and worked with us,
Yes.
gained momentum. And well, inconsistency will always flow in. Once you stop what you're doing, those things that threw in the responses
Yes.
will subside.
Exactly.
Okay?
True. True.
So we've had back and forth. I'll give you another example. When Okada was being a menace in Lagos,
Yes.
the commissioner for transport at that time partnered the NGOs, and we championed the cause of ensuring that helmets were appropriately used.
Yes.
There were some other policies that came with that pursuit.
Yes.
At some point, we celebrated the end of a mess with the Okada program in Lagos.
Yes.
And what we saw was that the word that was devoted to Okada riders at Lastwood
Yes.
was no more useful at some point.
Yes.
We were all happy for it. But government comes, government goes. Not long after, the mess came back. So every achievement we have gotten over the period is gone. It's gone.
Is that as we speak now?
As we speak now, yes.
Okay.
Give it to it that Lagos State government is doing one thing that makes me glad now. They are revisiting. They just launched a renewal of that child safety program.
Okay.
So that one makes me glad.
Right.
And I want to see how far that will go.
Right.
It would be nice if the handlers of today do not allow any government change or policy change to kill whatever speed they have now.
Particular initiative. All right. We'll come back after this time out on the Lagos Transportation Agenda. We'll continue our discussion with Mr. IKE OKONKWO.
Eku akete ilé ọgbọ́n, eku akete ilé ọgbọ́n, arọmọdé dẹ́kọ̀ máma já o, eku arọmísà lẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́, arọmọdé dẹ́kọ̀ máma sá o, eku arọmísà lẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́.
If you're just joining, is the Lagos Transportation Agenda, and my guest today is Mr. IKE OKONKWO, the CEO of the Arive Road Safety Initiative. Very concerned with safety of pedestrians, motorists, and especially our youngest members of society, that is children, school children, and other children who may find themselves on the road at one time or the other. You were talking, sir, about sustaining the momentum that you had, had in the past. Now, let's draw an agenda for the government and other stakeholders based on what you were saying. What exactly do you want to see in the short, medium, and long term so that that sustenance, that momentum you keep referring to, will be sustained in the long term?
Funding is one key problem to the issue of safety. Safety requires a very huge capital outlay. There's no child play when it comes to safety.
Yes.
And if you look around, those of us who are into that project, those people who, the NGOs that are still pushing on those areas, the only thing that is keeping them behind is funding, and perhaps government patronage. Government patronage in the form of support. Government does not always need to put money to what you do.
Exactly.
Because of course we know what happens in our environment. But if government supports, make pronouncements that support the project you are running,
yes,
it only encourages other people around, other corporates,
yes,
to begin to also build interest. A lot of people want to please government. And if they know that government has interest in building this, what do? Government is the most critical partner,
yes,
critical stakeholder of whatever anybody is doing in this country.
yes.
So if those people who are pure or proper stakeholders in that project see that government has interest in that project or in an eye on that project, that area where government is going is where the eyes of those corporates will go to. So to be in the government books, they will only want to be visible,
yes,
in the areas where government has interest. So they support. So if government make pronouncement, government shows their buy-in, shows their interest in critical projects. That interest, that showcasing, the only thing it does is that it also helps not only those people who are in charge, who are running on it, but people who may be interested in supporting the program.
Exactly.
So government interest, showing it, showing their presence. When we started, we were talking about, for instance, zebra crossing. And then zebra crossing. You tell them about zebra crossing. They see it. You bring out books and show them zebra crossing. You tell them the do's and don'ts of zebra crossing. But they don't have it on ground. Seeing is believing.
Exactly.
You don't see it, you don't know it. That is why when we're in school, when you are being taught anything, you are given the theory and then you also take it to the lab.
Yes.
So you can match the talk,
the practical,
with the work.
theory. Yes.
Here, there's a plan for Lagos State to take these kids in the renewed program, to take them abroad, to actually see the working of what they are being taught.
Okay.
And I'm a little worried. It's a good thing, but I am worried because if you talk too much about zebra crossing and all the other things you talk about with children, they are smart people, smarter than you and I, whether you like it or not.
True.
So you now take them across to UK, for instance, and show them the real zebra crossing and how it works, the real way it works. And then they come back here. What they see is the negative, the opposite side of what obtains.
But we have zebra crossings too.
Some of them will get confused. We have zebra crossing in a few places.
Yes.
That's why I said that Lagos is coming up. Lagos is the in fact, they are number one
epicenter
across the country.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the best. What they are doing, they're not there yet, but they are the best in the country.
So far.
If you look around, a lot of the zebra crossing signs that were painted some 8 years ago are no more there. Some washed out. Some of the roads have been reconstructed without replacing those signages and the road markings that were there while the thing was failing.
Yes.
See, if you are constructing a road, once that job is done, whatever was on it that made it a road before you begin to reconstruct, if you don't put it back, you have worsened the situation.
Exactly.
So as I'm talking about continuity, whatever is there, as long as you agree that this is right, this is the features that should be here. For any reason you want to reconstruct that road, please don't forget to put back those things, because people who are around there are already getting used to
yes, those features.
You kill it. Those people who are coming up new,
who have never seen it before,
in the next 3 years will say, will swear that there's nothing like a zebra crossing, but it has been there. I will give you one critical example. On Kefi Road, those first set of schools that were there,
yes,
we had done zebra crossing marks on them, put safety signs, because school children will always cross. Perhaps even train some, what we'll call lollipop then, that will come out at peak times peak periods to help children cross and stuff. Because
yeah.
that time, the data we had then was terrible. Because vehicles knocked children down.
Yes.
So, and everybody was happy. 3 years down the line, yes, there was the real need to resurface the road.
Yes.
It was resurfaced. But 5 months after the road was constructed, I had to go to pick about 2 signs, 2 traffic signs that I placed there that they uprooted while they were constructing the roads. I picked them from the side and took them back to the office. Another example, this Ekota school. Not too long ago, there were incidents of child accidents that involved children. Severally, some children, about 4 children, were run down by a Ekota school trying to cross the road at some point. And we went there. The NGOs in Lagos came together and agreed that this must be tackled. And what we could do in the immediate was to go and put up some signages, relevant signages, because they were school zones. Although it was a difficult one at that, because you don't really have school zones on the expressways. And it's difficult to build a pedestrian bridge across the expressway. The school was such that this was a school, and then the community where the children come from is on the left. So they have to cross the road to go to school and do that back, and you cannot install zebra crossing on the express. And even to do pedestrian, which will be better anyway. We went there, we installed zebra crossing, rumble strips, speed bumps, minimally, because you don't do such bumps heavily on the express. And then speed, we did a lot of things there. Go there. Now, they're not there anymore.
Wow.
Usage. Perhaps they went away after a few years. But if you agreed that they were all good installations, replace them. The children are still there. The reason why we put those in there was because of the fusion, the friction between the students and the traffic. So the school is still there. The children are still there. But those safety measures are no more there.
So what should be the balance between sensitizing people on the need for all these measures to be taken, to be taken into consideration, and enforcing when you do not see enough compliance? Because I hear a lot about, they need to sensitize. Our regulations are not punitive. They are not supposed to punish. But at a point when there is minimal compliance, less than what you expect, what should be the balance?
Advocacy runs hand in hand with enforcement. Enforcement should not outweigh advocacy. Otherwise, it becomes very punitive. In the same way, in the same vein, advocacy should not outrun enforcement. Why do you see, you don't give what you don't have. So the reason why people are educated, why we create awareness, is for you to know. So if you know and you don't do what you should do, it becomes wickedness. Government falls on you. So government will come and tell you, look, do not cross the road just that way. Use the pedestrian bridge. And they'll tell you why. That's advocacy. That's awareness. Awareness creation, education. Use your helmet, because in case of an accident, it protects your head. Wear your seatbelt, because in the event of an accident, it holds you firm and protects your life. So they tell you what to do or what not to do and give you the reason. And when that is done, it assumes that you now have the knowledge. If you have the knowledge and still violate, it's a problem. So such people should be punished appropriately. So if we have been doing all we have been doing, government have been doing all it have been doing, educating, there are other NGOs in this Lagos
Yes.
who are still making with schools.
Exactly.
So if they go, spend their time, their money, and try to educate children and even adults, and you allow those efforts to just waste, it doesn't make sense to me.
True.
So you have to enforce.
Mm-hmm.
What is enforcement? You pay for your crime.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what governs. Go to the UK. I'll tell you, you go to a club, because you come from Nigeria, your friends are there, and they say, "Oh, no, what? I'll take you out. Let's take you out." When they come to take you out, they are coming in a taxi, and you are wondering why. You say, "But we don't go drink, oh." And they don't want to lose money.
Exactly.
Because if you are caught drunk and driving, they know what it takes off their pockets.
Exactly.
So that is the guide.
Mm-hmm.
The cost of breaking the law in Nigeria is too cheap.
Exactly. That's the point I was trying to get your
Yes.
your
It's
take
cheap,
on.
not only in terms of how much you pay out to the law. I'm not talking about paying to whoever is in uniform.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about paying to government. It's cheap in that way, but it's also cheap in the manner with which our enforcement agencies handle their affairs. Right. Enforcement, for instance, that is driven by technology. That is the new world. You look at the federal road safety officers on the road, you can tell how many times a lot of them have gone injured or even killed. Look at last mile officers. A lot of times you find them running after some drivers, and in the course of doing that, they get injured, sometimes killed, or even going into a fight that will end their lives. But if our enforcement patterns are driven by technology, they don't have any business with running after a driver.
Yes.
If by capturing your plate number, I can tell where you live, I don't have business running after you and exposing my life to such high risk, because it is the police that will just get to your house. If I cannot treat you on the road, if I cannot catch you when you're violating on the road, it's okay. Before you go to bed, the police is waiting for you at home.
Exactly.
And you are paying for that crime.
Exactly.
If we do that, life is easy. You don't. I've never seen a policeman running after, except for pure crimes. You don't see policemen run after drivers on the road to catch them. But if once your number is taken, you're done.
Exactly.
They will get to you. So I believe that enforcement of all sorts for road safety should be driven by technology. It should be. We created, for instance, we call it zebra crossing mat. Each time we're with the children, teaching them about zebra crossing, we have a very mighty mat that's painted black, white, black,
yes,
that was spread on the ground. Seeing is believing.
Exactly.
And I wish we had a better version of that. That is our technological innovation. That's
Exactly.
instead of talking on giving them paper we just spread it out, and they work on it as if it's zebra crossing. That's fine.
Okay.
So those are leveraging.
All right. Well said. Thank you so much. And thank you for being with us up to this time. I hope you join me next week at this time when the Lagos Transportation Agenda, God willing, comes your way again with another interesting discourse in the dynamic world of transportation. Until then, this is Austin Ian saying stay safe. Bye-bye. God bless.